Namaskar friends, continuing our discussion on understanding the different ascendants in the D9 chart. In this video we will try to understand the results of having Virgo ascendant in the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. So okay friends, before we will start our discussion on today's current topic, we will first do a quick revision of all of the contributing elements which are necessary to understand. So I mean to say, first we are going to have a discussion on the importance of the D9 chart. Second, we will try to understand the importance of the ascendant of the D9 chart. And the third element is going to be the distinctive and defining qualities of the Virgo zodiac sign. And after discussing all these three contributing elements, then we will continue our discussion on today's current topic. So okay friends, if you have to understand the importance of the D9 chart, so this chart is formed by making a ninth division of the zodiac sign from your main ascendant chart. So I mean to say, the planetary alignments in this chart just gives you this information about the true strength, roots and dignity of the planets. No predictions should be made, no concrete character analysis or personality analysis or assessment should be made without looking at this D9 chart. So this chart validates the true strength of the planets. The second feature is that this chart tells about your spiritual prospects of your luck, your fortune, with how much righteousness you're going to follow your path in this lifetime. And the third feature is that this chart just tells about your complete matrimonial life. Guys, you have to understand this thing that when we take our analysis to these divisional charts, we try to understand the reverberating planetary energies behind the screen in that area of our life. Whatsoever is actually going to happen, that information we get from your main ascendant chart. But when we look at these important charts, we just get to know the underlying energies. So I mean to say, the way people behave or project themselves in their day-to-day life, that behavior, that projected persona might be completely in contradiction the way they behave in their deep intimate relationship, in their matrimonial life. So I mean to say, when you take your analysis to these important charts, you get to know the real side of the personality of the person. So that is also one of the feature of the D9 chart, that it tells about the complete matrimonial life. And if you have to understand the ascendant of the D9 chart, so guys, like the way you know this thing that the first house or the ascendant just tells about the underlying theme as being represented by that divisional chart. So like I mean to say, if you have to summarize someone's matrimonial life in one word, like is this marriage can be encapsulated in one word as emotional, luxury, too much intensity, too much devotion, divine. So I mean to say, just by looking at the first house, you get to know about the foundation, about the theme, and at the same time, just on the basis of which zodiac sign is going to fall on the first house, it decides that which all zodiac signs are going to fall on the other corresponding areas of your matrimonial life. Fifth house is going to tell about the romance in the marriage. Ninth house is going to tell about the devotion in the marriage. But what kind of energies are going to reverberate in that area of your matrimonial life? All of that gets decided only on the basis of which sign is going to fall onto the first house, becoming your ascendant. And now guys, if you have to understand few of the qualities of the Virgo zodiac sign. So Virgo is a sign which is being ruled by the planet Mercury, which manifests strong organizational qualities, strong business management skills, healing powers, capacity to attain that much strength to how to handle any of the competition, and at the same time becoming very proficient in your chosen craft, in your skill. So all these are the qualities which are being represented by this Virgo zodiac sign, which is being ruled by the planet Mercury. It is an earth sign and it is a dual sign. You can also look at it from that way. So okay friends, now just because you have got Virgo as your ascendant in the D9 chart, so this is going to give us this indication that definitely you are going to have this capacity, or your marriage is going to have this capacity to run everything spick and span. Like in your matrimonial life, all areas of your life are going to get very organized or could be very perfectionist. So I mean to say, whatsoever you have desired as a part of your life partner has to be like this. Your matrimonial life, it should run like this. So all of your plans or your dreams or visions or your idealistic image could manifest, could happen actually. So all of that you can get to know just only on the basis of that Virgo is your ascendant in the D9 chart. So I mean to say there is a strong potential that your matrimonial life is going to be very organized, or it could actually organize you. So let's say for example, you can only get the Virgo ascendant in the D9 chart if either your main ascendant in your main D1 chart, your ascendant has to be of one of the fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or it has to be of earth sign, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or it has to be of the water sign like of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So if your ascendant will have certain planetary alignments in certain degrees of the zodiac belt, then only you are going to get this Virgo as your ascendant in the D9 chart. So I mean to say, even if you have to understand the transition, so guys, it's very simple. When you try to look at that whichsoever house your ascendant of the D9 chart is falling in. So let's say for example, if you are an Aries ascendant in the main D1 chart, so you can fairly see that the energies of your ascendant from the D9 chart is coming from your 6th house. So I mean to say your complete marriage or matrimonial life is actually going to affect your 6th house. So for an Aries ascendant native, the matrimonial life can actually make you strong, can actually give you strong endurance, forbearance. You can also look at it from that ways. Your life partner or your complete matrimonial life is actually going to act as a source of strength, as your resistance to handle the difficulties of the life, to sail through smoothly in your life. You can also look at it from that ways. If you have to understand it for the Leo ascendant natives, so just for the Leo ascendant natives, the whole of your matrimonial life is going to impact your 2nd house. So I mean to say, whether in the form of how much attention you give to your values, your ethics, your morals, and at the same time the concerns of your finances can actually get directly involved or get affected. Now this could be for positive, this could be making you vulnerable. So that is the connection you can see from your main ascendant chart to the D9 chart. If you have to understand it for the Sagittarius ascendant natives, so guys, as you can fairly see over here, is that the complete matrimonial life, the flavors of your marriage, the duties and responsibilities of the marriage are actually going to affect you on your 10th house, the way you handle your responsibilities, the concerns of your career. So I mean to say, if the planets are going to be well placed and strengthened in your D9 chart, so that can actually help you sail through or progress at your career front. You can also look at it from that ways. If you have to understand it for the earth signs, like in your main D1 ascendant chart, if you have got a Taurus ascendant, so I mean to say the energies of this Virgo zodiac sign is going to fall onto your 5th house. So I mean to say your intellect, your capacity to take risk, and your devotion in life is actually going to get more strengthened or come into the spotlight because of the affairs or concerns of your marriage. You can also look at it from that way. If you have a Virgo ascendant in your main D1 chart, so I mean to say, just because of having the same sign ascendant in both the D1 chart and the D9 chart, so it means you have got a Virgottam Lagan, which just tells about this thing only, that your eye for detail, your sense of practicality and realistic approach in life is definitely going to get more strengthened. Your personality, your whole persona is going to get strengthened due to marriage, or the contribution of the marriage is going to impact you this way. Guys, if you have to understand it for the Capricorn ascendant in the main D1 chart, so I mean to say, in your case, the matrimonial life is actually going to impact the 9th house of your main ascendant chart. So I mean to say, you will definitely find that luck will start favoring you more after marriage, or the sense of devotion which you are going to have, whether in the marriage or your overall outlook of life, is actually going to become more optimistic, making you more driven towards austerities, religion. So you can also look at it from that ways. If you have to understand for the water zodiac sign ascendant in the main D1 chart, for all the Cancer ascendant native, the energies are going to impact your 3rd house. So I mean to say, marriage could actually become a source of strength for you. You can also look at it from that ways. For the Scorpio ascendant native, marriage could actually fulfill higher of your wishes, your desires, your hopes. you can also look at it, the connection this way. And for all the Pisces ascendant natives, in your case, your matrimonial life is directly going to impact your 7th house. So I mean to say your public image, concerns of your business, the way you project yourself in the society, in the world at large. So I mean to say all of those things are actually going to get impacted because of your matrimonial life. You can also see or look at the direct connection of your main ascendant chart and the D9 chart. So okay guys, after understanding this transition for all the different ascendants from the D1 chart, now we will exclusively going to study the different areas of your matrimonial life or your D9 chart if you have got Virgo as your ascendant. So like the way I was telling it to you, that just because you have got Virgo as your ascendant in the 1st house, so it is going to give us this indication that your matrimonial life is actually going to make you more organized, or your life partner could have this mindset that you have to run each and every area of your marriage, of your life in a very spick and span way, and your partner could actually act as your source of strength, could encourage you, could motivate you to strengthen your craft, your skill, could even contribute on towards that. So from all of those perspectives, this Virgo ascendant in the D9 chart can be seen as a very good sign. Moving ahead guys, if you will enter their 2nd house. So 2nd house is going to tell about the household finances and the values. So that is actually going to take the center stage. So guys, just because you have got Libra sign over here in the 2nd house, so that is just going to give us this indication that when we talk about the house of their finances, so there will definitely be a little bit sense of luxury, the way you manage your finances. So because guys, I also want to bring attention over to the other important areas of your matrimonial life as well. Now when we talk about the Leo sign, Leo which in itself tells about regality, little bit of the show off. So the Leo sign is falling in your 12th house of expenses, losses, and at the same time your other house of finances, which could be the 11th house of opportunities or highest of the wishes. Even you have got a very fragile, very volatile Cancer sign over there. So I mean to say, when it comes down to your household finances, you need to have an eye for detail. Specifically, the way you handle your joint or household finances, that's the one thing which I want to tell you over here. If you will enter their 3rd house. So now when we talk about the 3rd house tells about your open channel of communication. 3rd house also tells about your strength, your courage, your valor. So I mean to say, here you are going to see the energies of the planet Mars in the form of the Scorpio sign. So guys, for the Virgo ascendant natives, Mars not only rules your 3rd house, but at the same time it also rules your 8th house as well. So I mean to say, you have to remain bit watchful towards the way you behave or you exert energy in the relationship. So let's say for example, if you got married to someone who doesn't compliment you basis your qualifications, basis your occupation, your livelihood. So initially, just because or the force of the love or force of emotions brought you or took you towards a person or a relationship, but later on you start having this power struggle within the relationship, or let's say for example, even your friends, people in the neighborhood, they might start judging you. So all of those energies or all of those fears or vulnerabilities are going to be there. So you have to remain bit careful, bit cautious, the way you exert your efforts or any form of power struggle, domination, trying to showcase your supremacy within the bond of the marriage. So you have to remain bit cautious over there, because in any case, for the Virgo ascendant natives, Mars is not a very benefic planet. Moving ahead guys, if you will enter their 4th house. So now the good part about for all the Virgo ascendant natives is that their 4th house has got a very optimistic and a very benefic sign, which is Sagittarius sign. So I mean to say, 4th house just tells about your definition of happiness within the marriage, the definition of contentment, or how much happiness you're going to attain or acquire from the relationship or from the marriage. So I mean to say, the good part about the Virgo ascendant natives is that even in the face of any problem, any challenges, they have this tendency of remaining optimistic and at the same time, just because their domestic life is filled with such a benefic sign, so it will not be an exaggeration that they will opt for vastu in their household, like furniture, setting up their house, and at the same time organizing all the spiritual discourses, retreat, organizing some spiritual discourse. So these kind of organizing these kind of events in their household might have, you know, all the holy pictures of the gods, and that kind of potential, that kind of reverberating energies you can find in the core of their domestic life of their marriage. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead, guys, if you will enter their fifth house. So when we talk about the fifth house just tells about the way you use your intellect within the marriage, and at the same time this house also tells about romance in the marriage. So I mean to say, here you are going to find the energies of the planet Saturn, because it is ruling your fifth house and it is also ruling your sixth house. So I mean to say, even in any of the intimate moments, or even while trying to impress their partner romantically, they will definitely have a very practical, very realistic, very mature approach onto those areas of life. Like, I mean to say, the good part about this placement is that Saturn is not only ruling their house of romance, but it is also ruling the house of the skills as well, house of the challenges as well. So I mean to say, first of all, these guys in the marriage could be very handy. They know about different tools, how to do the simple of the household duties, responsibilities, share the burden of the responsibilities. So that could be their realistic and very mature way of pleasing their partner, rather than in a very unrealistic way buying those gifts which you cannot afford, or which on later on you might not even need. So they prove to be a very handyman in the household affairs, in the household duties, and that could be their approach to win the heart of their partner. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead, guys, if you will enter their sixth house, so like the way I was telling it to you, that even in the face of any of the challenges or obstacles which might come in their relationship, their social life, I'm not talking about their close like their family, siblings, or their people in the neighborhood. I'm talking about, now this could be work colleague, this could be people you socialize with. So there could be those possibility that those common friends might come as an arbitrator, carrying good intentions to work out any of the issues which you might be facing in the relationship. So from that perspective, this could be seen as a good placement. Moving ahead, guys, if you will enter their seventh house. So when we talk about the seventh house in a very core way just tells about what exactly is happening in your marital front, and you have to look at it from a very intangible way. So here you are going to find the energies of the planet Jupiter in the form of the Pisces sign. So I mean to say, there is definitely going to be strong potential that they will run into a partner where the partner is definitely going to offer himself or herself completely. When we talk about devotion, when we talk about sacrifice, when we talk about attachment, so all of these qualities remain very strong and very intense with this Pisces sign. So just because you're getting these kind of energies in the seventh house, so I mean to say, you might find or you might run into that kind of matrimonial life where your life partner will be ready to sacrifice for the sake of marriage. So that kind of devotion you are going to find from your life partner. You can also look at it from that ways. The moment you are going to enter their 8th house, so here you are going to find the energies of the planet Mars. So guys, when we talk about the 8th house, so 8th house also tells about your in-laws. It also tells about deep unspoken emotions, feelings. So I mean to say, this will not be an exaggeration to say this thing that you might find very headstrong, very intense in-laws, and at the same time, you know, the way the native is going to connect intimately with his partner. So those concerns of intimacy or the bond of intimacy could be very strong. You can also look at it from that ways. And there will always be a sense of adventure or experimenting nature even in that side of the matrimonial life. Moving ahead, guys, if you will enter the 9th house. So when we talk about the 9th house of the D9 chart, this house acts as a glue which has the power to keep the bond of the marriage intact. So I mean to say, here you are going to find the energies of the planet Venus in the form of the Taurus sign. So I mean to say, when we talk about the Taurus sign, your values, come into the center stage. Your concerns of finances also come and get the attention. So I mean to say, when we talk about their matrimonial life, the concerns of finances can actually bother them. So in that area of life, they have to give heightened attention. And yes, at the same time, their devotion or sense of devotion is definitely going to be very rooted, very firm. You can also look at it from that way. Okay friends, now we will enter the 10th house of your D9 chart. So I mean to say, 10th house tells about the contribution you are going to get from your life partner in order to fulfill your duties and responsibilities in this lifetime, and at the same time how your couple or your matrimonial bond is being perceived, is being seen in the society. So I mean to say, just because you have found the Gemini sign over here, which is a very frivolous, very jovial, very kind of quickness, spontaneous sign. So I mean to say, that kind of energies you might exude in the society, where people will see you as someone there is an open channel of communication between both the partners. They don't hide things from each other. They take and undertake so many travels, young adventurous couple. So that kind of image your couple or your matrimonial life is going to exude to the society. You can also look at it from that ways. Moving ahead guys, if you will enter their 11th house. So I mean to say, in the 11th house, which is the house of the fulfillment of your wishes and how much contribution, rightest path, and the marriage is going to contribute into that. So I mean to say, here you're going to find the energies of the Cancer zodiac sign. So guys, you have to understand that when we talk about their goals and their now this could be couple goals, this could be their individualized goals, their soul desires. So you will find the energies of the planet Moon in the form of the Cancer sign. So their goals in the life could be a matter of concern, could be a very sentimental issue or matter for them. So because of which, whatsoever you decide as a couple for your future, there has to be a lot of attention and little bit of the realistic approach should be given to it, because otherwise your partner might get offended or might get depressed or might not be able to handle it or take it easy. So there you have to remain bit practical and bit realistic, because I mean to say, there are all those people who promise their partner that okay, if after this age or at this point of time we are going to buy our own house, or we will settle to this part of the world, or to immigrate to a new country, or whatsoever promises you're going to make, you have to remain very much attentive and detail oriented towards that, because otherwise this could be in future a matter of worry or a very sentimental emotional matter. So you have to give attention to that. But yes, there is a strong possibility now, whether in the form of someone who might be in an artistic and creative field, to get good success on the basis of your artistic and creative talents, to explore the world, travel a lot. Even now, whether this could be as a couple, as a part of your matrimonial life, so all those things can materialize, all those things can happen, that we can see just only on the basis of the vibrations of the Cancer sign on towards your 11th house. And last guys, if you have to understand the energies of your 12th house, so in the 12th house you're going to find the energies of the Leo sign. So I mean to say, I have been putting emphasis on this area a lot many times, that your travels could happen in luxury, but at the same time you have to give attention how much is it burning the hole in your pocket. So I mean to say, the concerns of finances needed to be given heightened attention. Let's say for example, if in your lifestyle too much of the pretentiousness qualifies, and that kind of lifestyle is getting qualified which your pocket is not allowing you, so that could in future become a matter of worry or concern. So there you need to give attention. So that is something guys which I wanted to share as a part of my inputs for all the Virgo ascendant natives in the D9 chart. For further more updates and notifications on the science of astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Thank you.